What's up guys? In this video, I'm gonna be playing camping. Surely nothing bad happens. Videos like that are the reason this game used to be so popular. Hello everybody. How many of you remember Roblox camping? It seemed to be a pretty cool game and franchise at the time before slowly fading into irrelevance. But what if I told you that camping's legacy actually managed to impact Roblox to this day? It was extremely well crafted during the time and spawned more fan games compared to a game like Piggy, which has a lot of fan games. It practically introduced an entirely new genre in Roblox, which is an extremely admirable feat to accomplish. Camping wasn't just a Roblox game, it was a revolution in game design. I would be willing to bet without this game, the homepage today would look at least a little bit different. But why do I think camping is so impactful to Roblox? And what made it so popular in the first place? For the two of you who don't know what camping was, it was a story game about, well, camping. It was a horror game that played into the bait and switch method where it would seem whimsy and cutesy on the outside before taking a scarier turn. Ooh. The horror in this game was actually quite scary during the time of its release and managed to give my little sister nightmares for at least a month due to the monster's scary face. Terrifying stuff. The horror has not aged well and would 100% seem like a parody today, but the bait and switch method seemed to be extremely effective against people who were new to it. Camping went on to make several other additions to the franchise, including Camping 2, Hotel, Mansion, and Camping 3, featuring better and better content each time. And they actually ended up finishing the series at Camping 3, which most franchises nowadays don't really do, which is what I really admire about camping. They weren't afraid to end the series. They could have definitely kept it going for a couple extra installments, but they didn't, and we got a pretty satisfying ending. That kind of narrative closure is extremely rare in Roblox games especially. The story is mainly focused on a serial killer, Zach Nolan, and a family of 5 that he murders. I don't want to tell the whole story, so go watch this video if you want to see the full picture. Although there are a couple of plot holes in the story. The son comes back when he was set free in Camping 2. Zach Nolan came back physically intact after he was killed in Camping 2. And where on earth did Zach get this suit from? This game was by no means perfectly written, and the fact that no one seemed to question the plot at all back then really shows how invested everyone was. But besides the flawed writing, there was a lot of potential in these games, and the formula they followed.
Jump scare, where's the jump scare? Jump scare, what?
So, what made camping so popular? It barely had any advertising prior to its release, and it's not like the creator was well known before it. Well, I think it's due to a variety of factors, mainly because the bait and switch method is so effective. This method has obviously been done prior to camping, but it's still effective and scary to unknowing players. It lures players into a false sense of security before subverting expectations to something scarier. I'm not saying camping was the first ever to use this method, but it 100% was some people's first exposure to it, which is where it's most effective. Another thing that came from camping was the fact of how easy it is to make YouTube videos on it. Since the main factor of the game was that it was supposed to surprise you. It led to some pretty nice clips.
Oh my god! Run! Okay!
What? My stories. I was just getting to the good part. So then my other arm fell off? Oh! Run! Why? Why are we running? Why?
I feel lucky. She trolled me. She said LOL.
Kid on you.
Okay.
The monster's here. I wasted a med kit on.
Over time, thanks to these videos, camping came with a lot of fans. Videos came with more players, which led to more videos. Honorable mention, Dennis Daly, he made like 30 videos on camping and camping fan games. he undoubtedly boosted the game more than almost every other YouTuber.
Slap but can also stroke.
Going in the wind as a panty of the foot that is naked. It's verbatim.
So how did camping even leave such an impact on Roblox? It's not like it's still relevant anymore. Well, thanks to camping's unique-ish formula, there were a lot of fan games to come with it, which only boosted the game's popularity even more. These camping fan games basically created their own genre, which by itself is a huge feat. Some of these fan games include Field Trip Z, Break-In, Airplane, and Circus Trip, which is actually terrifying. I could definitely see a 9-year-old getting nightmares from this. Without camping, none of these would even exist. From what it seems, there was a lot of passion in the community and these games. And these fan games actually gained some small communities in themselves too, such as Break-In. As a matter of fact, these fan games are still being made today, but it's definitely not in its golden days. Its influence is still undeniable, and it's astounding how much of an impact it left on Roblox. So, in conclusion, camping is one of, if not the most influential and impactful games on Roblox due to its massive influx of fan games and the introduction of the bait and switch method and the story genre. Without camping, we wouldn't have as many games that follow this technique, and we wouldn't have games such as Break-In or, dare I say, weird as well. I think it's safe to say that without camping, the Roblox homepage would look a lot different. And I am forever grateful for Samson for creating such a flawed masterpiece almost 7 years ago. 7 years? Holy cow, that's like half my life. Thanks for watching, and one more thing